Husband!
Yes, wife.
Let's read the Bible.
But we're atheists. Why would we want to do such a thing?
Because we live in small town USA and everyone around us quotes this thing extensively and we have no idea how to respond?
That's true. Neither of us grew up with religion, yet Christianity is playing a huge part in our country's politics.
We're not scholars or academics, so Sacrilegious Discourse is our first take reaction.
And this feed houses our reading of the book of Genesis, and each subsequent book will get its own separate feed too.
Why are we separating each book?
Not all podcast platforms allow access to older episodes. This will ensure our listeners don't lose access to any of our previously released material.
You can find our most recent episodes on our main channel, Sacrilegious Discourse.
That's right. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
Hey you, welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
I'm wife.
And together we're reading the Bible.
Starting with Genesis and eventually ending with Revelations, we're working through every book and offering our atheist 2 cents.
Or shekels.
Yeah, those. We're asking questions and pointing out all the nonsense.
We aren't academics or scholars.
Nope. In fact, when it comes to religion, we really don't know anything at all.
What we've learned so far is that God's a dick.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? If you're interested in how we reached this startling conclusion, maybe start from episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in anywhere. It's all good.
Yep. Husband.
Yes, wife.
I forgot to tell you something last time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's really cool. Want to hear it?
Sure. Can't wait.
We are over halfway through the book of Genesis.
And just how many more books of the Bible are there?
There's 66 total. Which is kind of funny in and of itself.
Man, we're going to be doing this a while.
But still, that's really cool. Like, I've never read this much of any Bible ever.
Yeah, me either. Not any Bible.
So, yeah, there's 50 chapters in the book of Genesis.
Oh,
and,
okay.
We're doing chapters 30 and 31 today.
So yeah, we already missed the halfway point. We're over it.
No, that's what I wanted to tell you.
Awesome.
I was very excited about
That
it.
just makes me happy that we're going to learn about Nimrod again soon.
You hope.
Oh, we got to.
Well, because we're going to do a bonus about him.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Do you remember what happened last time?
Oh,
Like, we literally recorded just a couple nights ago.
You
You don't?
I don't.
Oh my god, you suck.
Yeah.
Okay, so, what's his butt?
That doesn't help.
Jacob.
Okay, Jacob, yeah.
He married,
Oh, yeah, he had to marry 2 girls.
yeah, because his uncle Laban was a dick.
Right.
And tricked him into working 7 years.
And one of them had a sparkle, and the other one was a dog, as you
Leah
said.
was the dog.
Yeah.
Poor Leah. But she had like 1,000 babies.
Right, because he made the other one barren because God's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
I got it now.
Yeah.
I just need a little, like, it's like a jump start.
Right.
I need a little bit of, just crank the motor a little bit.
And then Jacob also saw the stairway to heaven.
Right. I can't, every time I hear that, I'm thinking, the
You want to
Led Zeppelin-
sing it.
I want to sing the Led Zeppelin song.
I want to
every time.
sing it too,
But I don't know it well enough to do it with
I
justice.
know,
And
I
I'd
know.
want to do it justice. So.
But we both like kept pausing and
I
thinking,
know, 'cause
I'm gonna sing it
now. We're gonna have to play that later.
Maybe.
Not on the podcast. You guys play it on your own.
Yeah.
We're gonna play it on our own.
Homework.
Yeah, go play Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin.
All right. Should we see what happens with all them babies Jacob had?
Yeah, what's coming up today?
I just told you.
Oh, well, tell me again because I forgot.
Genesis chapters 30 and 31.
I mean, I can't remember anything.
I
So.
know, it's true.
All right, well, let's get on this.
Alrighty.
Hey, wife.
Yes, husband.
Did you know that we are now on Patreon?
Yes, because you told me, but also, no, tell me more.
So we're on Patreon now.
Are we?
We are, and our supporters can go there and support us, and we have multiple levels all the way up to You Killed God.
That sounds really drastic and escalated quickly-ish.
Well, no, there's multiple levels before there. So it escalates on a sliding scale of, cheap to not cheap. Oh. But, we can definitely use any amount. So, like, any support is always appreciated.
So what exactly is Patreon?
It's a place where you can show your support for our podcast. And
just our podcast?
Any podcast or any performer. But, we're the ones that, you're listening to right now. So maybe you should, support us. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But we love you anyway.
So all you got to do is go to Patreon, look up Sacrilegious Discourse. It's actually patreon.com/Sacrilegious Discourse is our actual main page there. So head on over and send us some love.
Yeah. So you won't know this because we didn't keep it, but I just accidentally read the wrong chapter 30 from the wrong book.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. And we were so confused. We were like, what is happening?
We were learning all about the Ark of the Covenant and how to build an incense holder that goes on the front of it. And I was like, what the fuck?
And then he was talking about meeting Aaron there. And I'm like, who is Aaron? Oh my God. Okay.
So not that you guys care, but anyway, back to Genesis.
Well, I just thought it was funny. Like, I'm a human and I messed up.
Right.
And this is real.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's find out what happened in Genesis.
Yes, Genesis chapter 30. When Rachel saw that she wasn't having any children for Jacob, okay, this is much more on key with where we're at.
This makes more sense.
She became jealous of her sister, the dog one, Leah.
Right,
The one without the sparkle.
Yeah.
She pleaded with Jacob, give me children or I'll die.
Oh my gosh, that's dramatic.
That is super dramatic. Then Jacob became furious with Rachel. Am I God, he asked. He's the one who has kept you from having children. Ugh, these people are whack.
What the hell?
Like, it couldn't possibly be that there were any medical things happening.
You loved, quote unquote, Rachel.
Yeah.
And you've been fucking the hell out of Leah.
At least 5 times.
Because she's giving you kids. Mm-hmm. And you're like, psh, and then you're like, that's God's fault. Fuck you. Get away from me.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
Rachel's like, you're terrible for not impregnating me
and
with
she's
your
not
super
wrong.
sperm.
She's not wrong. Well, no, but he's terrible for caring more about kids and shit like that than who he loved.
But
quote unquote.
Don't forget, we talked about this last time. Kids were very important way back when.
I know, but it's all a bunch of shit.
It is a bunch of shit.
Remember how we talked about how he said he loved her,
and it was mostly lust.
It's lust.
Yes.
Stop using the wrong fucking words because the Bible's like love, lust. They're the same thing. What?
Yeah, it's true. They're not the same.
They're not.
And it's okay if you lust, but, you should be honest.
Yeah.
He thought Rachel was pretty enough to lie about her as a sister.
Because if you loved her, you wouldn't care if she gave you children or not.
Right.
So whatever.
Bad Jacob. Then Rachel told him, take my maid Bilhah and sleep with her. She will bear children for me, and through her I can have a family too.
What's this, like, take my maid and they'll have children for me thing?
I mean, why don't you just...
Is this where, like, the Handmaid's Tale, like, is that where, like, Handmaids, is that a Bible-y thing?
I think it is.
Okay, so, it's like sex slaves, but,
Right?
Also they do the cooking and cleaning.
Why not just steal your sister's babies? Why do you have to steal your maid's babies? And by maid, let's be honest, slave.
Well, yeah, what does it matter that your maid's having it versus your sister?
I don't know. I guess because she can legitimately steal that baby and she can't steal her sister's babies.
I guess.
I don't think there should be any baby stealing happening.
Right.
But what do I know?
Right.
So Rachel gave her servant Bilhah to Jacob as a wife, and he slept with her.
I want to know what that means, giving them to them as a wife.
Oh, I think you know what it means. Bilhah became pregnant and presented him with a son. Wah, wah. Rachel named him Dan, for she said, God has vindicated me. He has heard my request and given me a son. Yeah!
But he didn't. He gave Bilhah a son.
Then Bilhah became pregnant again and gave Jacob a second son. Rachel named him Naphtali, for she said, I have struggled hard with my sister and I'm winning. What the what? It's a contest.
Your maid is winning.
And not only that, but Leah has had 4 or 5 kids. You've only had 2 through your maid, so you're not winning.
Halfway there.
Oh, but they were boys, and she is his love, so hypothetically, maybe she thinks she's the legit wife.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Although Leah was the first wife,
yeah,
so
she was second, so.
Technically, Leah is the legit wife, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. But...
That is a bunch of bullshit.
Meanwhile, Leah realized that she wasn't getting pregnant anymore. So she took her servant, Zilpah, and gave her to Jacob as a wife.
But Jacob was just getting it on with
He
all kinds
was.
of people.
Damn. Soon Zilpah presented him with a son. Leah named him Gad, for she said, "How fortunate am I."
Is that like E?
Gads. Then Zilpah gave Jacob a second son. What? And Leah named him Asher. Oh, I didn't realize that Asher was a name from the Bible. I guess I should have. I knew a guy named Asher. His mom was very Bible-y.
I knew a song called Brimful of Asher.
Asher?
Oh, Asha. Never mind. I don't know. Never mind. It's a really good song by Corner Shop if you want to look it up. Whatever.
And Leah named him Asher, for she said, "What joy is mine! Now the other women will celebrate with me." Oh, this is so whack. One day during the wheat harvest, Reuben found some mandrakes growing in a field and brought them to his mother Leah. I was like, wait, which one is Reuben? Reuben was one of the ones that Leah had legit.
Yeah. Because I remember thinking it sounded like a sandwich.
Yeah, Reuben sandwich.
Yeah.
Rachel begged Leah, "Please give me some of your son's mandrakes." But Leah angrily replied, "Wasn't it enough that you stole my husband? Now will you steal my son's mandrakes too?" Wait. You stole Rachel's husband because he was trying to marry her.
Yeah.
You stole first,
like for 7
bitch.
years.
Wow. What a bitch. Okay, I'm not Team Leah anymore. Not that I ever was, but now I'm really not.
I mean, I'm not Team Bible, for God's sakes.
Okay, no, but if we're picking sides here.
All right.
Definitely not Team Leah.
Right.
She's a bitch.
Yeah.
Rachel answered, "I will let Jacob sleep with you tonight if you will give me some mandrakes." Oh my god, I need mushrooms so bad. I will let you sleep with my husband who is also your husband.
Yeah, like let you, like whatever. I'll sleep with him, whatever.
I married him first, bitch.
Yeah.
I'll sleep with him when I want to.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jacob's got to be so worn out. 4 women fighting over him and mushrooms.
Fuck
Yikes.
this person. No, fuck this person. No, fuck me. No, fuck her.
Could you imagine having that problem?
That's ridiculous.
That's
ridiculous.
I'm glad we don't have that problem.
Yeah.
I would be like, whatever. So that evening, as Jacob was coming home from the fields, Leah went out to meet him. "You must come and sleep with me tonight," she said. "I have paid for you with some mandrakes that my son found." So that night he slept with Leah. Yeah, that is prostitution. Oh my God. And that makes Rachel a pimp.
Right. Yeah.
And God answered Leah's prayers. She became pregnant again and gave birth to a 5th son for Jacob.
What's God's deal with Rachel, though? Like, what the hell?
I don't even know.
Like, he's granting Leah all this shit because she's firstborn woman, and
by trickery and thievery.
And then, yeah, she took the spot that Rachel was supposed to have, and then he's like, "I'm going to punish the one that he actually loved because
why not?
Because why?
I don't know.
Whatever."
She named him Issachar, for she said, "God has rewarded me for giving me my servant to my husband as a wife."
God rewards people for some stupid ass shit.
Okay, this is people claiming that God rewarded them.
Yeah, no, I know. But, like, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. They're saying it in the Bible.
I think these people are dumb and backwards. I don't think that they get it.
I guess, but God is really weird, too.
God is definitely really weird. But I don't think that these people actually know that their pregnancies or lack thereof come from God one way or the other.
If you say so.
Okay, every time something good happens, they're like, "Praise God, he must love me, I'm the best." And every time something bad happens, they're like, "God didn't give me things and he's punishing me. And, oh, what did I do wrong?" So, I mean, that's ignorant.
Yeah.
Then Leah became pregnant again and gave birth to a 6th son for Jacob. She named him Zebulon, for she said, "God has given me a good reward. Now my husband will treat me with respect, for I have given him 6 sons."
She keeps saying that every time.
And he just doesn't ever love her the best.
At least it doesn't seem that way.
According to, what we're reading.
Right.
Oh my God. Later she gave birth to a daughter and named her Dinah. Then God remembered Rachel's plight. I guess he had forgotten it, but then he remembered, oh, snap.
Maybe I should go back and help her out.
And answered her prayers by enabling her to have children. He flipped a switch.
Isn't that nice of him?
Go, Rachel.
But, like, I don't understand in the first place. Like,
right?
It doesn't make any sense.
She became pregnant and gave birth to a son. God has removed my disgrace, she said, and she named him Joseph.
Ah.
For she said, may the Lord add yet another son to my family. But could you imagine, like, women are merely vessels.
Oh, I know. Obviously.
That is so disgustoid. I'm so glad that now women don't have to fight for the right to their own body and autonomy. Oh, wicked, evil laugh. 2020, and we're still trying to get women's rights up in here.
Yeah.
Fucking Bible. The trickery of Laban and Jacob. Oh, more trickery? Uncle Laban, didn't you do enough harm? Soon after Rachel had given birth to Joseph, Jacob said to Laban, please release me so I can go home to my own country. Let me take my wives and children, for I have earned them by serving you, and let me be on my way. You certainly know how hard I have worked for you. Please listen to me, Laban said. I have become wealthy, for the Lord has blessed me because of you. Tell me how much I owe you. Whatever it is, I'll pay it. Jacob replied, you know how hard I've worked for you, and how your flocks and herds have grown under my care. You had little indeed before I came, but your wealth has increased enormously. The Lord has blessed you through everything I've done. But now, what about me? When can I start providing for my own family? What wages do you want? Laban asked again. Jacob replied, don't give me anything. Just do this one thing, and I'll continue to tend and watch over your flocks. Let me inspect your flocks today and remove all the sheep and goats that are speckled or spotted, along with all the black sheep. Oh, I'm a black sheep.
There's a black sheep. Black sheep.
Give these to me as my wages. In the future, when you check on the animals you have given me as my wages, you'll see that I have been honest. If you find in my flock any goats without speckles or spots, or any sheep that are not black, you will know that I have stolen them from you. All right, Laban replied, it will be as you say. But that very day, Laban went out and removed the male goats that were streaked and spotted, all the female goats that were speckled and spotted or had white patches, and all the black sheep.
What an asshole.
Uncle Laban is not nice.
No.
He placed them in the care of his own sons, who took them a 3 days' journey from where Jacob was. Meanwhile, Jacob stayed and cared for the rest of Laban's flock. Then Jacob took some fresh branches from poplar, almond, and plane trees and peeled off strips of bark, making white streaks on them. Then he placed these peeled branches in the watering troughs where the flocks came to drink, for that was where they mated. And when they mated in front of the white streaked branches, they gave birth to young that were streaked, speckled, and spotted. Nice. Jacob separated these lambs from Laban's flock, and at mating time he turned the flock to face Laban's animals that were streaked or black. This is how he built his own flock, instead of increasing Laban's. Whenever the stronger females were ready to mate, Jacob would place the peeled branches in the watering troughs in front of them. Then they would mate in front of the branches. But he didn't do this with the weaker ones, so the weaker lambs belonged to Laban, and the stronger ones were Jacob's. I approve this message. As a result, Jacob became very wealthy with large flocks of sheep and goats, female and male servants, slaves, and many camels and donkeys. The end.
Well, good on him. He got his whatever in the end, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he got tricked so much. First, he got tricked by having to marry the wrong woman, and then he got tricked into having to serve another 7 years to marry the one he wanted to marry.
Right.
Then he got tricked with all these kids and maids and whatnot, and then he gets tricked into not having the right sheep and goats.
Right. So he's like, screw you, I'll show you.
He's like, I'm done, Uncle Laban.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to chapter 31.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys there.
Okay, so Genesis chapter 31, and we are still under the section entitled The Trickery of Laban and Jacob.
Okay.
So here we go. But Jacob soon learned that Laban's sons were grumbling about him. Jacob has robbed our father of everything, they said. He has gained all his wealth at our father's expense. It's kind of like they have no idea that their father was like a dick.
Right, yeah.
Because, I mean, really.
Yeah, he was quite the dick.
He had coming to him what he got, you know?
Right.
And Jacob began to notice a change in Laban's attitude toward him. Oh, I'm going to sulk now because you didn't let me screw you over. Well. Then the Lord said to Jacob, return to the land of your father and grandfather and to your relatives there, and I will be with you. Okay.
So
was that a Zoom call?
He had to, I guess, who knows? But he asked Laban if he could go back to his father's land. But then now it's okay because God
said,
zoomed in and said, it's like, go back.
I'm giving you the go-ahead.
Okay. All right.
So Jacob called Rachel and Leah out to the field where he was watching his flock. He said to them, I have noticed that your father's attitude toward me has changed. But conveniently and absolutely not a coincidence in any way whatsoever, the God of my father has been with me. You know how hard I have worked for your father, but he has cheated me, changing my wages 10 times. But God has not allowed him to do me any harm. For if he said the speckled animals will be your wages, the whole flock began to produce speckled young.
I mean, he had something to do with that.
Yeah. And when he changed his mind and said the striped animals will be your wages, then the whole flock produced striped young. In this way, God has taken your father's animals and given them to me.
I don't know.
Through no help from me whatsoever.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because he was totally manipulating it.
Yeah.
And good on him because he was getting screwed over by...
let's not get a big head about it.
But now he's lying about it, and now he's saying it's all God, and it's like, it wasn't God, it was all you, dude.
Which is fine.
Right, which is fine. But
be honest. Yeah. One time during the mating season, I had a dream and saw that the male goats mating with the females were streaked, speckled, and spotted. Then in my dream, the angel of God said to me, Jacob! ! And I replied, yes, here I am.
They always say, yes, here I am.
Yes, here I am. The angel said, look up, and you will see that only the streaked, speckled, and spotted males are mating with the females of your flock, for I have seen how Laban has treated you. I am the God who appeared to you at Bethel, the place where you anointed the pillar of stone, and made your vow to me. Now get ready and leave this country and return to the land of your birth.
The God, is that implying that there's other gods?
I've had that question before myself.
Right, because he has to specify, I'm the God that appeared at this place.
Yeah.
Not
one of those other
the gods. God, period.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This seems to be happening, right after or right along the tails of people believing in multiple gods. So
right. No, I get that, but they're trying to pretend in this book that there is only ever and will only ever be one God.
Right.
And they're ignoring the fact that there are other gods, and they're not bringing it up at all.
Right. Like when they say, I'm a jealous God, only pray to me. Well, right.
Except for that sometimes in their writing, they're like, they screw up sometimes, and they forget their place.
They forget their pronouns and whatnot.
Yeah.
Rachel and Leah responded, that's fine with us. We won't inherit any of our father's wealth anyway. He has reduced our rights to those of foreign women, and after he sold us, he wasted the money you paid paid him for us. All the wealth God has given you from our father legally belongs to us and our children. So go ahead and do whatever God has told you.
Peace out, Dad.
Yeah, did you like the tone I put on that?
That was great.
Yeah, those were all their words, but I really gave them some sass.
Yeah.
Jacob flees from Laban.
Please. That sounds like he's running away.
He is running
like
the
they're
fuck
gonna,
away.
Murder each other or something,
He doesn't have Laban's permission to leave because Laban's
true.
keep working.
That's true.
And he's like, hey, I noticed everybody's mad at me. And, but God said I could go now. So, bye.
Right.
So Jacob put his wives and children on camels, and he drove all his livestock in front of him. He packed all the belongings he had acquired in Padan Aram, and I always wanted to say Bananarama.
No.
But no, when I was re-listening to our previous episodes, I was really upset with myself that I never once said Bananarama instead of Padan Aram.
Okay.
So anyway, he packed all the belongings he had acquired in Bananarama and set out and set out for the land of Canaan, where his father Isaac lived. Hey, Isaac, what up, homie? At the time they left, Laban was some distance away, shearing his sheep. Rachel stole her father's household idols and took them with her.
Oh.
Okay, that was unnecessary.
Right?
Jacob outwitted Laban the Aramean, for they set out secretly and never told Laban they were leaving. I mean, we kind of got that.
Right.
So Jacob took all his possessions with him and crossed the Euphrates River, heading for the hill country of Gilead. 3 days later, Laban was told that Jacob had fled. Nice.
3 days.
Yeah. I mean, this is a huge land. So.
Right.
So he gathered a group of his relatives and set out in hot pursuit.
Whoa. Does it say hot pursuit?
It says hot pursuit.
Interesting.
I'm just like, why? Just let him go. What are you going to do? Beat him and make him work for you more?
It's like a lunching party.
But I think he's like...
let's go get... They got torches and everything, probably.
Probably. Are they wearing khakis?
I don't know.
Probably. He caught up with
Maybe
Jacob.
there's a pitchfork.
Oh, yeah.
Like pitchforks are good for...
Pitchforks and...
those types of things.
Tiki torches.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Gotta have those things.
Yeah. He caught up with Jacob 7 days later in the hill country of Gilead. But the previous night, God had appeared to Laban the Aramean in a dream, a Zoom call.
Yeah.
And told him, I'm warning you, leave Jacob alone. Damn. That's serious business.
Right? Yeah.
If you could have God appear to somebody and say, I'm warning you, leave husband alone. Would you utilize that?
I guess, maybe.
I would.
But... yeah,
I'm warning you, leave husband and wife alone.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Laban caught up with Jacob as he was camped in the hill country of Gilead, and he set up his camp not far from Jacob's. What do you mean by deceiving me like this? Laban demanded. I mean, that's some balls. Seriously.
Right, to go confront him even after God told you, like, dude, chill.
Like, who the fuck do you think you are, though? Like, first you cheated this guy with the wife thing. Then you tried to cheat him with the lamb thing. You cheated him with the working 7 billion years thing.
Right.
Like, you are a cheat and a liar.
Right.
And then when he leaves, you go after him and have the fucking balls to say, how dare.
Right.
And that's after, like you said, God warned him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Laban can eat a dick.
Right.
I just don't even care.
Yeah.
How dare you drag my daughters away like prisoners of war? Why did you slip away secretly? Why did you deceive me? And why didn't you say you wanted to leave? I would have given you a farewell feast with singing and music accompanied by tambourines and harps. Do you believe him?
No, he had to find some other way to rope him in for another 20 years.
Yeah. Why didn't you let me kiss my daughters and grandchildren and tell them goodbye? You have acted very foolishly. I mean, the girls were like...
they were all for it. They're like, let's get out of here.
Yeah, clearly they were like not wanting to say goodbye.
Doesn't sound like he had a big fan club.
No. Laban's a dick. I could destroy you, but the God of your father appeared to me last night and warned me, leave Jacob alone. I can understand your feeling that you must go and your intense longing for your father's home. But why have you stolen my gods? His idols.
Oh, so... wait, so he's listening to another god, and that they're actually recognizing here that there are other gods, and he's worshiping those what the idols were. Why did the girls steal them, though?
I don't know. Maybe just piss him off. Like one time, with one of my way back ex-boyfriends, like right after high school, I stole his toothbrush.
That's...
just because I knew it would put him out.
Okay.
So maybe they were like...
that's something that you can easily fix at speed, at a gas station on the way in the morning.
It's easy enough to fix, but it was just enough that it was like a pain in his ass.
Right.
Because, like, how often do you go to the store to get a new toothbrush?
Right.
Only when your old one is, like, worn out and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So it was, like, just enough of a thing to be a thorn in his side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see why they might have taken those idols.
Right.
Sorry, Joe. I rushed away because I was afraid, Jacob answered. I thought you would take your daughters from me by force. But as for your gods, see if you can find them and let the person who has taken them die.
Oh. Whoa. Shit.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
And if you find anything else that belongs to you, identify it before all these relatives of ours, and I will give it back. Damn, Jacob is kind of honest.
Yeah.
Except for, like, he knew Laban would try to cheat him with the goats and what are they called? Sheep.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. But Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen the household idols. Laban first went into Jacob's tent to search there, then into Leah's, and then the tents of the 2 servant wives. But he found nothing. Finally, he went into Rachel's tent. But Rachel had taken the household idols and hidden them in her camel saddle, and now she was sitting on them. When Laban had thoroughly searched her tent without finding them, she said to her father, "Please, sir, forgive me if I don't get up for you. I'm having my monthly period." Oh, damn! So Laban continued his search, but he could not find the household idols. So that was the first example of a woman using her period
as an excuse
to get out of something.
Right.
That is awesome. Then Jacob became very angry and he challenged Laban. "What's my crime?" he demanded. "What have I done wrong to make you chase after me as though I were a criminal? You have rummaged through everything I own. Now show me what you found that belongs to you. Set it out here in front of us, before our relatives, for all to see. Let them judge between us. For 20 years I have been with you, caring for your flocks, and all that time your sheep and goats never miscarried. In all those years I never used a single ram of yours for food. If any were attacked and killed by wild animals, I never showed you the carcass and asked you to reduce the count of your flock. No, I took the loss myself. You made me pay for every stolen animal, whether it was taken in broad daylight or in the dark of night. I worked for you through the scorching heat of the day and through cold and sleepless nights. Yes, for 20 years I slaved in your house. I worked for 14 years earning your 2 daughters, and then 6 more years for your flock, and you changed my wages 10 times. In fact, if the God of my father had not been on my side, the God of Abraham and the fearsome God of Isaac, you would have sent me away empty-handed. But God has seen your abuse and my hard work. That is why he appeared to you last night and rebuked you." That's like
But if you believe in other gods, why would you care?
Okay, but that was like a mic drop. That was like an old school mic drop.
Yeah.
Seriously. He was like,
told him off.
"Boom, I'm done with your shit."
Right.
I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
Good job, Jacob.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Definitely.
Then Laban replied to Jacob, "These women are my daughters. These children are my grandchildren, and these flocks are my flocks. In fact, everything you see is mine. But what can I do now about my daughters and their children? So come, let's make a covenant, you and I.
Oh my gosh.
And it will be a witness to our commitment." Are they going to put each other's hands under each other's thighs? So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a monument. "Oh, let's make a monument, babe. Look, you just take a stone.
Just a stone, yeah.
And you set it up and you say, 'This is a monument.'"
Okay.
Then he told his family members, gather some stones. So they gathered stones and piled them in a heap. Then Jacob and Laban sat down beside the pile of stones to eat a covenant meal. To commemorate the event, Laban called the place Jagar Sahadutha, which means witness pile in Aramaic. And Jacob called it Galid, which means witness pile in Hebrew. Oh, I didn't realize that they spoke different things.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Then Laban declared, "This pile of stones will stand as a witness to remind us of the covenant we have made today." This explains why it was called Galid, witness pile. But it was also called Mizpah, which means watchtower. For Laban said, "May the Lord keep watch between us to make sure that we keep this covenant when we are out of each other's sight. If you mistreat my daughters, or if you marry other wives, God will see it, even if no one else does." Which God?
Right?
"He is a witness to this covenant between us. See this pile of stones," Laban continued, "and see this monument I have set between us. They stand between us as witnesses of our vows. I will never pass this pile of stones to harm you, and you must never pass these stones or this monument to harm me. I call on the God of our ancestors, the God of your grandfather Abraham, and the God of my grandfather Nahor, to serve as a judge between us." So Jacob took an oath before the fearsome God of his father Isaac to respect the boundary line. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice to God there on the mountain and invited everyone to a covenant feast. After they had eaten, they spent the night on the mountain. Laban got up early the next morning and he kissed his grandchildren and his daughters and blessed them. Then he left and returned home. The end.
Isn't that nice?
I mean, he was completely in the wrong, and then he's like, well, let me just, make a deal with you that I won't kill you after all.
Right. And we're going to use your God even though you don't believe in that God apparently because you had all those idols. And we all know what God thinks of idols.
Maybe he was trying to check the box and, believed in all the gods.
Right.
I mean, that seems more likely.
Maybe. But, I mean, you'd think if they're going to just randomly bring up all gods, that they might have discussed that a little bit.
Right.
And, why there's other gods that people believe in.
Right. And are they real? I think they might be real.
Just suddenly had idols of all these other gods.
Right.
And...
Do you think they're real?
I mean,
they
sounded as real as he's like, your God. Because, it didn't seem any more shocking that he encountered this God versus his gods.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't, blown away and, suddenly bowing to the Lord.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know. It seems a little...
It seems like there were a lot of gods.
Right. It does.
Huh.
It does.
I got that feeling before, but this seems even more likely.
Yeah.
Let's keep track.
Which is really, really interesting because it's almost like they're giving the fact that there was multiple gods. They're like,
right.
Yeah, there was other gods.
What do you think happened to those gods? But we like
this one, so.
What do you think happened to those gods?
Well, I mean, we still have a bunch of different religions in the world.
But they mostly all believe in the same God. The Jews and the Muslims and the Christians and the Catholics, which I guess are Christians, right, but an entirely different kind of Christian.
Sure.
They all agree that it's the same one God.
Right.
They just worship him differently.
But there's also Islam and, Buddhism and Hinduism, and there's a million different religions in India.
I thought that Islam was part of that same God.
It's in the same realm, yeah. It might be the same God.
I'm pretty sure it's the same God.
I'm not enough familiar with it. But I mean, there's definitely different teachings with that type of religion, too.
Right, but they all celebrate the same God.
Kind of.
The one God.
Right.
They celebrate very differently, and they interpret his rules very differently.
Right.
But he is the one true God to those people.
But there are a bunch of other religions in,
sure,
India and stuff like that. So,
sure,
there are definitely other religions. So, I don't know.
Do you think any of those gods were really real at that time?
No, because I don't believe in any God. So, no, I don't.
So do you think that those people were just smoking some good shit? Them mushrooms that Leah stole?
Well, it's either that or there's so little to do in this world that, making up these amazing stories and crazy things that are happening is just makes life that much more exciting.
So now we have Twitter, so why are there still so many different religions?
Well, because we've been doing this for 2,000 years or plus,
So is it going to take another 2,000 years to quit it?
Probably.
Jeez.
I mean, it just, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, well, our next episode is going to be on a Tuesday or Thursday.
One of them.
Yeah, one of those.
It'll be on a Thursday.
It'll be on a Thursday.
And it'll be covering Genesis chapters 32 and 33.
So join us on Thursday for the next installment of Sacrilegious Discourse.
Yeah. Husband.
Yes, wife.
Is there a way for people to contact us?
Well, sure. They can get on our Twitter account.
We have a Twitter account?
We do.
What is it?
It is sacrilegious_D.
D for discourse?
Yeah, they wouldn't let me put the whole thing, so I had to shorten it to _D.
I hate them.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
How do you spell sacrilegious? Do you know?
I don't want to. Just look it up in a dictionary or something. I don't want to do that right now.
You know why?
Sacrilegious_D. Okay?
Because you messed it up and I made you fix it. That's why.
Yeah.
What about an email?
Yeah, we got that too.
What is it?
sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to spell sacrilegious.
Right. Well, definitely get a hold of us. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And, any comments, hate mail. We love that kind of stuff.
Also, you could answer some questions that we leave throughout or, correct my pronunciations.
Yeah,
which are probably
please.
Bad, wrong, and horrible.
Because we suck sometimes.
Absolutely!
Oh, also, if you like this shit or whatnot, give us a like on your podcasting app and stuff, or even leave a comment or something.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Goodbye.